Greetings, all of you. And can you hear me in the back? Yes, okay. Thank you for coming. Obviously, a different schedule today, and actually, I think our last time together like this. So, yeah, it is sad. This is our annual opportunity to recognize the athletic teams and the individual accomplishments. And so I will speak very briefly, and then the coaches will go through and give a brief wrap-up of their season and recognize Founders League winners, and those I'm sure they'll ask to stand. They will also ask the teams to stand, the letter winners. Please hold your applause to the end if you would. And I will just say this. I said to Ms. Kresko, who has a really strong command over the history of athletics at Taft, we'll have to go back and look, but this may be statistically the most impressive season I've seen in a long time, perhaps in our history. And just let me give you a couple numbers that are remarkable. If you look at all our interscholastic teams, we were 15-2. That is in terms of winning records, 15-2. Varsity teams had a overall record of 214 wins against 99 losses. That's extraordinary if you do the math there. Really good. Now, I think any school that plays in a league as competitive as ours and against competition so strong, and you said at the end of the season, our varsity teams would basically be 21-10. Just incredible. There are 3 Founders League titles. This is one of the most competitive athletics leagues, certainly in New England, and if not in the country, in private schools. To win 3 titles is absolutely great. 5 teams qualified for the New Englands, and then as you'll hear from coaches, there were a couple of individual accomplishments by individual athletes that almost baffled description because they were so extraordinary, and you'll hear about a couple of those. So my congratulations are to everybody who played at any level, overall, JV, thirds, varsity, boys and girls, every sport. The sports are so different in the spring, from laddered sports like tennis to a massive team sport like track. So I am really, really proud. You should feel great. It's very clear that we've got amazing athletes, amazing teams, and singularly talented coaches. So with that, and a great sense of congratulations, we'll start off with Mr. Kennerson, who's the golf coach.
I want to start by thanking Coach Murphy. He's a great coach, a great friend, and what he did with our youngest golfers, our junior varsity golfers, was great this season again. He always gives his all to those young golfers, and they had another successful season. I congratulate Murph and the JV golfers. Knowing how much time they spend and work at the course, I certainly have to congratulate Mrs. O'Shea and the girls varsity golf team for their Founders League championship, another outstanding record. But I'm up here certainly to talk about my team. And as I said to Grant the other day, Grant Sweeney, there's been some special teams over the years that I've been doing this, and it's over 20 years now. But this team certainly is a special one. Yeah, we had the results. We had a good record, 12-3, Founders League champs. The team performance I was most impressed with was our performance at the Andover Invitational, played at one of the toughest courses in New England, Newport Country Club. We counted 4 scores, all in the 70s, and had a tournament low score for Taft, and finished just behind Exeter in that tournament. Certainly the individual performance by Drew Powell last Saturday in the Founders League Championship. His score of 6 under par, 65, will not be approached, I don't think, in many years by any Founders League golfer. Hopefully the next person to approach it is someone wearing Taft red, and I anticipate that going that way. But most importantly, I had a special group of young men. From day one in our trip to the Donaldson's house in Florida, this is a group of guys who, yeah, they loved playing golf, but they really enjoyed being around one another, and that helped the team perform above and beyond maybe what they felt they were capable of. And I look at just yesterday's result. Joel, if he is here, I hope Joel Rayan was here. His 75 was awesome, and I would imagine beyond even his expectations. I congratulate all the boys who played varsity golf this spring for us, and I ask them to rise to be recognized. Varsity numeral, Lewis Dayton. Varsity letter, Captain Manny Capice, Charles Donaldson, Chris Gata, Drew Powell, Hunter Ramey, Joel Reume, Rex Riefler, and Grant Sweeney. With our Founders League championship, we are fortunate. Well, we're not fortunate. We earned it. We earned 3 All-League recognitions: Joel Reume, Hunter Remy, and Drew Powell. And it's with special thanks that I award the Gillespie Golf Award, established in 1987, given to that member of the varsity golf team who carries on the tradition of sportsmanship and love of the game, characteristic of John Gillespie during his 34 years of association with Taft. And certainly, Manny is one of the best captains I've worked with in these 20-plus years, and it's with great thanks that I award the Gillespie Award to Manny Capice. Those All-League members, make sure you see me afterwards. And I have a special recognition for Drew. His card with 65, which again, for those of you who play golf, you know that number is hard to come by for 18 holes. And I think well-deserved for Drew. And Drew, along with Hunter, will be our captains next spring.
First, I would like to thank Mr. Mack, Rob, Rachel, Ginny, Pat, the athletic training staff, Ms. Leal, Mr. Chandler, and Ms. Cohane. I would also like to thank our wonderful manager, Charlie Himmelrich, who kept things running smoothly and we could always count on to bring bus snacks. Last but not least, a huge thank you to Ms. DeSimone. No matter what, you always had my back, and we were able to bounce ideas back and forth, which made us a better coaching duo. This season's team was filled with 22 lively, energetic girls who wanted to learn everything about lacrosse, life, and Miss DeSimone and my personal lives. We had our ups and downs on the field throughout the season, winning games and others that didn't go our way. However, there was never a day that I would arrive on the field and the energy was low. This was mostly because of the leadership of our seniors. Brooke Majewski, Eliza Dunham, Becky Dutton, Ellie Smith, Emma Howie, Elle Carroll, Kaylee Boglowski, and Megan Schoenholtz were a wonderful group who created a welcoming, fun environment right from the start, especially when they would create music videos on our bus rides and have sing-alongs in the locker room. We ended our season 7-9 after beating Hopkins 14-3 yesterday. Looking back, the biggest game of our season was an overtime victory against Sacred Heart just 2 weeks ago. It was back and forth for the entire 50 minutes. We headed into overtime with the game tied 10-10. Bridget Slocum made some unbelievable saves in net, and we took advantage of possessions on attack, but we were not able to find the back of the net for almost 5 minutes of overtime. With just over 1 minute remaining, we had a save on defense, cleared the ball beautifully, and we were able to find Kaylee Boglowski in front of the net, who placed it perfectly around the goalie for the 11-10 golden goal victory. Thank you to this entire team for 3 months of high energy, hard work, with a whole lot of fun mixed in. Our Founders League All-Stars for this season are Brooke Majewski and Ellie Smith. Our Western New England All-Stars are Elle Carroll and Eliza Denius. The Wandelt Lacrosse Award, awarded to that member of the girls varsity squad for sportsmanship, play, and outstanding contribution to lacrosse, goes to Eliza Dunham. Our captains for next year are yet to be determined.
Quick thanks to Serge, Rachel, Maggie, Pat O'Toole, and Ginny. for all your work keeping us healthy, equipped, scheduled, and uniformed. Thanks also to Coach Alex, a.k.a. John Malkovich and/or Gilligan. Thanks also, special thanks to our most loyal fan, probably over the last 30 years, Rusty Davis. We're going to have to schedule some matches against Vermont teams next year. And finally, congrats to Coach Kevin Conroy and the boys JV, who finished undefeated at 10-0 this year. Well done. Finishing at 17-3, this has certainly been one of the best tennis seasons since the 1890s. Among our best matches were wins over Andover, Exeter, Choate, Deerfield, and arch-rival Hotchkiss twice. We won the Southern New England Tennis League tournament with every Taft player landing in the finals, and ultimate champions Peter O., Dylan Powell, and Aaron Pizzulo in singles, and doubles team champions Dylan Powell and Peter O. Like all great tuba players, O and Powell held down the bottom all season, remaining undefeated at number 3 doubles. In the New England Championship Finals, for the 3rd year in a row, we came up with a few shots of the trophy, but fell again this year 3-4 to a top-heavy Kingswood team, despite heroic efforts by number 2 Ogden Timpson and number 3 Peter Horn. Our strength this year was ridiculous depth. With only very fine gradations between our best player and our worst, no other team came close to our bottom. Witness our number 5, Dylan Powell's combined singles and doubles record this year, 43-1. We could count on a win in every match at numbers 6, 5, and 4, and our doubles teams dominated in every match with the exception of Kingswood and Hopkins. We lose only our number 1 and captain, Cortland Boyle, so next year we'll take another shot at the New England crown that has eluded us the past 3 years. Numeral winner, please stand, Henry H. Tilly Tillman. Letter winners, please stand. Cortland Boyle, captain. Michael Darling. Roberto Garcia. Peter Horn. Jung Wan. Peter O. Jacques Pellet. Aaron Pizzulo. Dylan Powell. And Ogden Timpson. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Peter Horn. Founders League All-Stars, Peter O. and Ogden Timpson. The Man, congratulations. The Man Tennis Award, because he's the man. One of the joys of coaching is spending afternoons with a great bunch of guys, all playing a game that is challenging, at times frustrating, and always fun. For the past 4 years, this year's winner has led the team with class, supreme effort in matches, and led every practice with an inspirational work ethic. While facing the very best players in New England, Cortland always gave it his all, and his sportsmanship never wavered. Coach after coach complimented his demeanor, and the league selected him from all its 70 players to receive the Alban Barker Sportsmanship Award. This is a huge honor for him and for Taft. He finished his career yesterday having played over 140 matches for Taft at the top of our ladder with over 100 wins and a reputation for sportsmanship that has brought honor to Taft. Cortland Boyle. Next year's captains are Ogden Timpson and Aaron Pizzulo.
I love this time of year when I get to reflect back on how lucky I am to work at Taft. I have a pretty great job trying to save the planet and teaching classes like AP Capstone and coaching the exquisite and talented Girls Crew program. So I thought I would try and blend my many talents into this speech, reviewing the season the same way we do in AP Capstone, where we propose a question and then evaluate it from multiple lenses and perspectives. So my question is, to what extent was the Taft women's crew team successful this season? I will use scientific, mathematical, economic, political, and social lenses to evaluate this question. Scientifically, I was blessed with the biologically most fit squad of girls I have encountered in years. With 4 girls surpassing 5'10" and a handful of tiny coxswains, a gaggle of hockey players with quads to kill, and Sophie Cammy's biceps, there was amazing potential from the first day of practice. So much so that I couldn't bear to make a single cut, and we settled with a record high team of 34 girls. Mathematically, these girls produced scores and records that must maintain an average that hasn't been stronger than this in years. With 9 girls earning 2K scores under 8 minutes, and with athletes like Annie Gillen and Anna Valentix, who each saved over 40 seconds off their 2Ks over the course of the season, we showed a dramatic improvement in speed each week. The varsity finished the season with a fantastic record of 52 wins, 25 losses, overtaking powerhouse programs like Choate and Groton for the first time in years. Economically, the entire program, even though the ADs maybe say we're expensive, we did support the hardware case by earning precious medals, economics, that we're so proud to be displayed. Winning back the Taft Alumni Cup last week over Gunnery and Berkshire was a thrill, as was the 7th boat victory yesterday in the lower boat regatta, including Fiona Connolly, Elspeth Leckie, Andrea Gura, Bella Ortega, and coxswain Sanju Maheshwari. This is the first 7th boat medal ever, because it's our first time ever having a 7th boat, but it was a huge deal that they won this. There are still more medals to be won this weekend, so the team is not done earning their keep yet. Politically, the varsity boats each earned bids for the New England Championships seated at 7th, 12th, 10th, and 8th, respectively, for each of the varsity boats. All boats are seated below teams they have not yet faced, though, so surely they will be diplomatic this weekend, but will kindly leave schools like BB&N and CRLS in their wakes. And lastly, socially, this was the nicest group of girls that Mr. LaCase, Miss Albert, and I could have asked to work with. I was lucky to work with such outstanding colleagues and mentors like Eve, who were instrumental in developing our raw talent. Everyone fought for their seat every day, but supported each other as they grew faster and stronger. The girls were selfless and kind, silly and playful, tenacious and focused, and committed to winning. The tone set early in our unforgettable trip to Tampa has forever changed the program, and I am so grateful for Captains Kate Tewksbury and Emily Drakely in shaping the vision of our competitive program. Therefore, the evidence clearly supports that this was one of the most successful seasons to date. It isn't over yet, as we have hard work to still do this weekend as we try to qualify for nationals on Saturday. I will sincerely miss the teams that changes next year with the loss of only 4 athletes, but I am so excited to see what is yet to come. Okay, will the following athletes please stand? Earning varsity numerals are Tayleen Almasian, Phoebe Audio, Michaela Carhart, Fiona Connolly, Emma Dew, Lauren Fadiman, Annie Gilland, Lauren Hoy, Magda Kisilin, I'm her advisor, I can't even say her last name, Kisilinska, Elspeth Leckie, Sanju Maheshwari, Bella Ortega, Sana Roy Chowhurdy, and Lily Senich. And the following will please stand for earning varsity letters: Chloe Ashton, Elizabeth Barada, Emily Drakely, co-captain, Andrea Gura, Gabby Gura, Sarah Ince, Sophie Cammy, Maggie Keeler, Sumi Kim, Emma Kresh, Emma LaRose, Vivian Liu, Catherine Moya, Maggie O'Leary, Saranai Renier, Kate Tewksbury, a co-captain, Lily Tabo, Emma Vermellen, Anna Valentix, and Natalie Waldrum. Our 2 Founders League All-League Awards go to Sophie Cammy and Emily Drakely. The Crew Award, which was established in 1993, given to a member of the crew whose outstanding contributions, sterling character, and dedicated perseverance embody a girl that's been such a close space to my heart. I'm so upset she didn't break the school record, but she's still a fantastic captain and member of our team, Kate Tewksbury. Next year we have tri-captains Emily Dragley, Sumi Kim, and Sophie Cami.
First of all, I want to begin with thanks to my assistant coaches, Mr. Brundage and Mr. Aspam, for the passion, the knowledge, and the experience that they have brought to the team. I want to thank also Serge and Rachel and Maggie for working with a seemingly endless series of aching backs, strained muscles, and especially tight IT bands. Ginny Krusko, who is totally behind the scenes but makes the crew team run. We can't get buses to the lake every day without Ginny. So thank you if she's here. The win-loss record of our varsity boat stands at 52-26. I've told the guys this, I think it's the strongest team we've ever had at Taft. Highlights of the season include winning the DuPont Cup for the 3rd time in 5 years and bringing the Smith Cup back to Taft for only the 2nd time in 22 years. This weekend we head to Worcester with all 4 varsity boats qualified for the New England Championship. Our first boat is seated 7th out of 29 teams. Second boat is seated 5th. Third boat seated 4th, and fourth boat is seated 6th. Our goal is to bring home some fancy neckwear. So if you see guys walking around with gold, silver, or bronze medals on Sunday, you'll know why. The athletes earning numerals this season are, please stand, Jamal Ahmad, Lachlan Beret, Zoe Eberstadt Beatty, Phil Holt, Zach Mariani, Mac Nolan, Otto Piasecki, and Daniel Yee. Athletes earning varsity letters this season, please stand. Jason Babb, Aditya Balsikar, Jack Ewing, Ben Gallant, Hudson Groner, Brady Grustas, Shelby Hetherington, Oscar Landry, Jay Lavallee, Mary Scott Lett, Evan Miller, Ben Moffa, Michael Mulder, Nick Mortimer, Thomas Muller, Ben Olson, Ben Roberts, Will Sisson, Taro Sochi, and Jack Vickery. Our Founders League All-Stars are Ben Olson and Ben Moffa. This year, the Crew Award, which was established in 1993 and is given to that member of the crew whose outstanding contribution, sterling character, and dedicated perseverance embody the best ideals of rowing. This year, it goes to somebody who I think rowed in just about every seat in every boat. The only thing he didn't really do was cox, but he would have if we'd asked him to. This year, we're proud to honor the rower with the best and least deserved nickname, Michael Dirty Mike Mulder. Finally voted by their teammates as next year's captains are Ben Moffa and Ben Olson.
All right. I don't think we can compete with Dirty Mike. So the boys lacrosse team wants to start with some thank yous. Thank you so much to my assistant coaches, Rob Madden and John Bender, who are the best in the business. They are unbelievable. Would not be where we are as a program without those guys. I want to thank Coach Corbell and Coach Mullane for doing a great job with the JV team. And also thank Coach Hoffman and Coach McKay, whose 7-2 record and unofficial thirds lacrosse Founders League championship this year was quite an accomplishment. Well done, guys. Also want to thank the girls lacrosse coaches who had to split a field with us every day and listen to my loud voice every day. And with our boys, I want to thank the training room staff, who again, another endless supply we provided as well. I want to thank Pat O'Toole and his crew for keeping our locker room clean and tidy. And I want to thank all of you guys for coming out and supporting us our last couple games. It was a huge, huge home field advantage, and it was a really exciting environment for us to play in. We ended the year 15-3. We're currently ranked number 20 in the country, depending on the poll that you look at. We won the Founders League Championship yesterday with a 14-11 win over Trinity Pauling. And this was a year even though it was a great record, a year of ups and downs, because we had tons and tons of talent, but we also had tons and tons of injuries. And our guys did a great job of embracing the next man up mentality. So we had some guys like Jack Sheehan, who got no playing time at the beginning of the year, start for us in the league championship yesterday and score a huge goal. And he is just one of the many examples of the next man up mentality that we had. This year, I think, in hindsight, in very short hindsight, is a year of incredible numbers for us. Let me give you a few. We scored 287 goals this year. That's 60 more than the previous school record. We scored more than 20 goals 7 times this year, including a 21-6 drubbing of Hotchkiss on Alumni Day, which we felt pretty good about. Michael Krause scored 57 goals this year, which is a Taft record that had stood for 16 years. He also had 86 points, which is the 3rd most ever at school and the most since 1988. Just because it'll be the last time I get to say it, Matt Davies scored 42 goals this year, which is the 2nd most ever by a midfielder. And his 83 goals in his career, the 7th most ever and the 2nd most ever for a midfielder. Kyle Salvatore, despite missing 4 games with injury, finished the year with 39 goals and 57 points, which are 3 points shy of the midfield record when he missed 4 games. Jack Collins had 64 points this year, which is a Taft sophomore record, which he broke by 18 points. The juice was loose. We had 15 wins this year, which tied a Taft record for the most wins in a season with the 1988 team. We had 16 guys in the senior class who were excellent. 41, Kevin Klempner's actual age. Where are you, Clem? All right, we needed that maturity throughout the year, Clem. Thank you. Again, a 16-member senior class that was awesome. Everything I could have asked for and more. And maybe the best number of the year was the 1 ground ball that Justin Meichner managed to pick up yesterday in his 7 seconds of varsity action this year. So that was pretty awesome. But again, a historic season and an even better group of guys. So definitely thank you to those guys and to those coaches. We have 4 varsity numeral winners. Please stand to be recognized. 2 great managers, Tristan Shea and Alex Hughes. Great job. Along with AJ Beret and Peter Kennerson. Those are your numeral winners. Varsity letter winners, please stand to be recognized. Griff Adair, Emmett Berg, Will Bach, Quinn Cahill, Stivey, Carbs, Coleman, Jack Collins, Matt Davies, Billy Dobensky, LJ Foley, Hanley France, Joe Hardison, Jack Healy, Cole Johnson, Kevin Klempner, Michael Krause, Jackson McAtee, Justin Meichner, Alex Millardo, Will Morton, Nick Nelson, Sam Nestor, Jack Niven, Tyler Nortillo, John Nugent, Sam Okpam, McGregor Peterson, Xander Salnikoff, Brandon Salvatore, Kyle Salvatore, Jack Sheehan, James Stewart, Sean Sullivan, Sam Sweet, Noah Telhami, and Dan Tracy. We had 3 Founders League All-Stars this year, Kevin Klempner, Noah Telhami, and Jack Collins. Great job by those guys. We will have our Western New England coaches meeting tonight, so that will decide all Americans, all Western New England, et cetera. So I'll send out an email with that information tomorrow. Also want to recognize Michael Krause, who was voted an Under Armour All-American, which is one of the top 44 seniors in the country. He will be playing on ESPNU, 8 o'clock, July 2nd. Check it out. And let's see what else. That's a pretty big deal. 3rd year in a row that we've had that, so that's pretty cool. And the Odden Lacrosse Award, voted on by the team and presented by the Taft Varsity Lacrosse Team of 1966 in honor of Mr. Lance Odden, who started the program. Awarded to that member of the varsity squad for sportsmanship, play, and outstanding contribution to lacrosse. This is a guy who, as good as they get, as selfless as they get, as good a leader as they get, and I think without a doubt goes down as one of the top 5 players in the history of the program, Brandon Salvatore. Also, Brandon's a long stick midi, which is basically defense, and he had 8 goals and 10 assists this year, which is just mind-boggling with a pole. Anyway, and we will be led next year by 3 captains, Kyle Salvatore, Griff Adair, and Joe Hardison.
I know it's been said before, but it takes a lot to make these athletic teams function properly. So thank you out to Willie and to Rachel and Rob and Ginny and Pat up in the athletic office and to all the grounds department and the athletic trainers. Congratulations also to both the JV girls golf and JV boys golf team, as well as the boys varsity golf team for their great seasons. And a special shout out to the JV boys tennis and Coach Conroy. 10-0 is really an amazing thing. To go undefeated is really a hard task. So congratulations. This year, the girls golf team came in 2nd in the Pippi O'Connor New England tournament, competing against 25 different schools. Our low player and the New England champion was Portia Wang with the 75. Yesterday, we won for the 3rd consecutive year the Founders League tournament by 2 strokes over Loomis. The girls varsity golf program started its inaugural season just 10 years ago. Their overall record is now 143 wins, 12 losses, and 4 ties. It has been a terrific 18-1 season. Although there are many highlights from the season, starting with our spring break trip to Florida, I always like our ice cream trips to Cheeseburgers, but I will consider our joint effort with the boys golf team as very special. On this day, we played together to raise money to send a child of domestic violence to a summer camp. It is a fun afternoon and it supports a great cause. Please stand and remain standing when your name is called. Varsity letter winners, captain and our only senior, Hannah Walensky, Avery Andreski, Jimena Villarella, Marissa Mission, Portia Wang, Grace Dreher, and Olivia Vivstead. Is everybody good? Okay. We have 3 Founder League winners. They will receive a certificate after this assembly. That is Jimena Villarella, Marissa Mission, and Avery Andreski. The John Vivano Taft Class of 44 Golf Award is presented to the individual that best exemplifies the spirit of Taft golf. The winner of this award is Portia Wang. That trophy is in my office. The Girls Golf Award. The Girls Golf Award. This award is presented to that player who, through her commitment to the game of golf, has displayed the highest level of integrity and sportsmanship. This year, the golf award goes to our captain and only senior, Hannah Wilinski. The captains for the 2016-17 season will be Avery Andreski and Grace Strayer.
Okay, so first I want to thank coaches Traina, Ganong, and Patel for being great coaches. They are smart and dedicated teachers of the game. I also want to thank trainers Serge, Rachel, Maggie for keeping us healthy, and Pat and Ginny for all the work they did behind the scenes. And also thanks to Izzy for being a great manager. We finished the season 6-12 overall, 5-9 in the Colonial League. This wasn't as good as any of us want it to be. But we beat Hotchkiss twice, and we beat Deerfield the only time we played them. And, you know, I've been coaching basketball and baseball for a long time, and there's been seasons that I was glad to see the end of. Put it behind you, move on to the next thing. But this wasn't one of those teams. This was a bunch of good guys who worked hard and didn't quite put it all together often enough to win many games. But these guys love baseball, and I'll miss them. Guys like Chris Bettigan, who didn't realize he wanted to play baseball until nearly 2 weeks after spring break ended. Chris is a great guy. Everybody likes him. And even though he wasn't close to being ready to play in a game when he first came out, he worked on things to the point where he got a hit in his only at-bat, and he pitched 4 amazing innings against Salisbury. Ryan Parcells did a great job in Florida and then managed to hurt himself before our first game back. Instead of just giving up on the season, though, he worked his way back and finally got into the lineup for 2 games. He got 2 hits in that same game against Salisbury and helped us almost win it. Really, it was amazing. We shouldn't have been in that game. Evan Lehner was always ready to pitch when we needed someone, always ready to help other pitchers out when they were working on mechanics in the bullpen. The second time we played Choate, because of a pregame injury, Evan found out he was the starting pitcher about 5 minutes before the game started. Instead of panicking, he warmed up quickly, went out there, and held a strong Choate lineup at bay for 5 innings. We didn't win the game, but Evan gave us a chance to win the game. Brian Tomasco, one of the smartest varsity athletes out there. Played just about every position for us this year. Whenever we changed pitchers, we had to rearrange our whole defense since most of our pitchers also played in the field. Brian was the most flexible piece of the puzzle, and he just showed up each day ready and willing to play anywhere we put him. Brian hit a 2-run home run against Loomis in yesterday's game that put us up 2-0. They were the only runs we scored in the game. We ended up losing the game 3-2, but we were ahead 2-0, and Brian gave us a chance to win the game. Carter Taft went from almost no playing time last year to a starter, batting at the top of the lineup, playing third or second base. That's a lot of pressure. You get a lot of balls hit to you at those positions, and pitchers bear down a little bit harder on the guys at the top of the lineup. Carter played excellent defense all year, and he managed to hit .286 for the season, one of the highest averages on the team. Carter had 3 hits in that game yesterday against a very good Loomis pitcher. Cashin Keeler also went from almost no playing time last year to a starter this year. Cashin made himself a better hitter through sheer effort. Many guys often took extra batting practice, but Cashin always did. He hit .333 for the season. And there were games when he was one of the only guys to get a hit. Cashin showed all of us, and especially the younger players, that you can get better at something when you work hard at it. And Maya Vargas was our leader out there. He was our shortstop. He made play after play. He was also on call to pitch every game and did a great job whenever we needed him. He had a back injury for a few games. He didn't have a great season at the plate, but instead of getting down on himself, he kept working hard at it every day. He showed the others on the team how to take a positive approach every day. Not even I was able to do that, and I should know better. Maya was a true leader. The underclassmen on the team would do well to emulate the work ethic and love of the game that these seniors had. So, varsity numeral winners, first of all, Izzy Mittag-Lenkheim, Caleb Hannon, Phil Huang, Jack O'Donnell, and Colin Popowski. Varsity Leonard winners, Chris Bettigan, Nick Cutler, Eric Holtzman, Cashin Keeler, Dylan Kim. Yeah, you guys should stand up. Everybody should stand up. Dylan Kim, Evan Lehner, Kevin Mulhern, Ryan Parcells, Winston Salk, Zane Segalis, Carter Taft, Brian Tomasco, and Maya Vargas. Two Founders League All-League Award go to two guys who I think played above and beyond our expectations this year. They are Kevin Mulhern and Cashin Keeler. And the Stone Baseball Award given annually to that member of the varsity baseball team who, through his leadership, consistent high level of performance, perseverance, and good sportsmanship, has made an outstanding contribution to the Taft baseball team. The 2016 winner is Maya Vargas. We have not yet voted for captains for next year.
Wow, what a spring campaign for the Taft Athletics, apparently, except for the baseball team. The softball players and I would like to thank our assistant coaches, OP and Coach Danaher. And then I'd also like to echo all the accolades and thank yous to Ginny, Pat O'Toole, Serge, the athletic training staff, the ADs, etc. We'd also like to thank our parents and many of our fans, including a couple of super fans, Helen and Sam. This year's team had one goal in mind when we began the season, return to the Western New England Championship game. Unfortunately, our team did not reach that goal after a tough loss in the semifinals to the eventual champion Williston last Saturday. But like many dreams and goals, while ultimately unfulfilled, the season of 2016 proved that the process or trying to reach your goal provides a measure of success. To come within one run of that goal required a great deal of effort and hard work, commitment and dedication, desire and passion, and most important, confidence. And that's what we really strive to do with the softball team, is instilling confidence in those young ladies. Of course, the missed opportunities, and particularly the last game of the season, will fuel the underclassmen for next year, 12 in all who will return. But our seniors had a great deal of our success this year, or contributed a great deal to our success this year. Jill Pappas, Dee, Suze, Maddie, all provided crucial leadership, whether it was with a timely hit or a strong defensive play. Those seniors combined with those underclassmen, and we won 12 regular season games, the most wins since our championship campaign in 2012. We outscored our opponents 171-46, or an average score of 11-3. 7 starters finished with a batting average over 400, and we had 2 hit 500 for the season. The team's batting average was 435 this season. AK and D contributed greatly on the mound as they teamed up to lose only 3 games this season. We lost only 3 games, and all of them were to teams who made the New England playoffs, KO, Westy, and Williston. We played brilliantly, and I couldn't be more proud of the girls. Quickly, on to the letter winners. please stand. Daria Costarua, tri-captain, Carolyn Baird, Natalie Bonilla, Mary Collette, Sydney Gerbel, Allison Gillen, Ali Calavitis, Maddie Light, Natalie Locarno, Sydney Molnar, Reese Olmsted, Jillian Pappas, Anna Rasmussen, Cecilia Souza, Morgan Sperry, and Claire Vatuthan. We have two Founders League All-Stars. They are Ali Calavitis and Anna Rasmussen. We have Western New England Coaches Association All-Star is Daria Costarua. And two Western New England League All-Stars are Mary Collette and Anna Rasmussen. We have two winners of the softball award. The softball award goes to two seniors who helped lead to our success through their play and commitment on and off the field. They are Daria Costarua and Maddie Light. The captains for next season are Mary Collette, Anna Rasmussen, and Morgan Sperry.
I'll start with a quick thanks on behalf of the track teams to everyone who works so hard behind the scenes to keep our program going. That includes the grounds crew, Pat O'Toole, the training room, the co-ADs, and Ginny Krusco, etc. I'd also like to thank my assistant coaches, Ms. Palmer, Ms. Valdez, Mr. Lampson, Ms. Foster, Mr. Rueg, Ms. Sinclair, Mr. Campbell, Ms. Klein, and Mr. Guthrie. I offer my deepest thanks and gratitude for all that you do, and a special thanks and congratulations to Mr. Jewell and Mr. Paget, who have contributed immeasurably to the success of the track teams over the years. They will be missed, and we wish them the very best in their retirements. The 2016 track season was a very successful and enjoyable one for both the boys and the girls teams. The teams distinguished themselves for being upbeat and positive. The athletes worked hard, they liked each other, and quite frankly, they were a lot of fun to be around. In turn, the season featured some very impressive achievements at both the individual and team levels, ones that inspired the athletes to push for an even higher level of performance. For the girls' team, these qualities were evident in the continued improvement of their regular season record, from 3-7 to 6-5-1 to 8-3 over the last 3 years. The team's inspiring victory over Loomis for the first time in I don't know how many years, to be honest, and their fourth-place finish at the Founders League meet are among the other season highlights for the girls. For the boys' teams, these same qualities were evident in how effectively the team blended so many new faces with the returners to finish the regular season with a winning record. The team's fourth-place finishes at both the Founders League Championship meet and at the NEPSTA Division I Championships on consecutive weekends at the very end of the spring offered plenty of season highlights. Varsity letter and numeral winners, if the girls could stand, please. First, Avery Smith, Ciara Smith, and Catherine Summerby, varsity numerals. And varsity letters are awarded to Haley Barr, Tisha Beneka, Makari Chung, captain, Elizabeth Daw, Sophia Dawn, Mary Alice Ewing, Blake Hobson, Stephanie Houghton, Taylor Jacobs, So Kim, Maddie Lander, Hannah Murphy, Jada Newkirk, Kayla Robinson, Eleanor Street, Claudia Vera, and Caroline Winnicki. For the boys' team, if you could please stand as well now. Varsity numerals go to Jack Elrad, Isaiah Hernandez, Aiden Majuri, Brandon Reed, Moritz Schildorfer, M.T. Tashuma, Micah Uma, Carter Veely, and Daniel Yen. Varsity letter winners, Christopher Adamsons, Alex Akpada, Marcus Aline, Will Bailey, Robert Detman, Tyler Dellinger, Andrew Ferrier, John Jacobs, Jackson Lardner, Matteo Mangiardi, Calvin Palmer, Miguel Ridruo, Alex Selechev, Javon Sinclair, Ludwig Svanstrom, Michael Wasserstein, and Julian White. While there are so many deserving candidates on the track teams, several athletes were singled out for postseason awards and recognition. For their performances at the league meet, Jada Newkirk, Taylor Jacobs, Andrew Farrier, and Javon Sinclair were selected as Founders League All-Stars. For his multiple first-place finishes at the NEPSTA Division I Championship meet, Javon Sinclair was selected as the meet's most valuable performer. And finally, the Seymour Willis Beardsley Track Award, which is awarded each year to those members of the track teams who most thoroughly typify the finest spirit and accomplishment of the ideals of the school laid down by Horace D. Taft. The 2016 winners are Steph Houghton, Robert Detman, and Javon Sinclair. As Mr. Mack alluded to earlier, there are 17 events in a track meet. And Javon Sinclair graduates from Taft on Sunday with his name on 4 out of the 17 school records. In 2017, the girls' track team will be led by co-captains Jada Newkirk and Libby Daw. And the boys' team will be led by tri-captain-elects Marcus Aline, Matteo Mangiardi, and Michael Wasserstein.
The girls' varsity tennis team was made up this year of 9 talented and motivated tennis players who are a pleasure to coach each day. These young women knew how to work hard on the court and off, how to support each other, how to be flexible, and how to maintain perspective during a challenging season. As you know, the spring season has an odd rhythm, and ours ended up even odder. Thanks to our wonderful indoor courts, we had a strong start to the season as we were able to practice and condition hard each day inside. We transitioned from practice play to competition play at the middle of April, and we headed into playing 8 of our 12 matches in a 2.5-week time frame. We lost one of our players early before the competitions began. Even so, we had a strong showing against Berkshire, but could not quite take the close matches against Deerfield and Hotchkiss. At this point, we lost another player to health concerns. We readjusted our lineup, and the team rose to the challenge, and we defeated Loomis and Westover. Against Miss Porter's, we lost yet another player to health concerns. Down 3, we restarted the team again, and we were still able to win. Against Westminster, we were down a 4th player. And this one we couldn't surmount, though we gave it a great try. When that 8th match arrived, that Friday of long weekend, and we were going to be down a fifth player. I requested a reschedule, and we were able to thankfully get one. During this time, every time I asked the ladies to adjust what number they were playing at for singles or who they were playing with for doubles, they responded well and played as hard as they could, showing their determination and flexibility. Last week and this week, we had the good fortune to have all of our ladies back and playing for the first time together in our final matches against KO, Choate, and lastly, Hopkins. With once again a new lineup, it took some time to sort things out, but we were excited to defeat Hopkins on their courts yesterday in the extreme heat. It was a true team effort with every player playing in a match that counted towards the overall score, and we were able to finish our season at 6-6. The team should be proud of their perseverance during a challenging season. We will greatly miss our seniors next year, but we're excited to have such a strong group of returning players. If you would please stand for the varsity letter winners. Co-captain Bella Hortzman, co-captain Eugenie Greff, Lanting Liu, Sydney Trevinan, Lily Turner, Fran Huff, Macy Toppin, Mina Hollick, and Regan Brewer. The Founders League Awards go to my two wonderful seniors. Each lady has been on the varsity team for 3 years, making strong contributions each year. They each led the team this year with their talent as players and their cool heads for competition. The Founders League Awards go to Bella Hortzman and Lanting Liu. The George D. Gould Tennis Award is awarded to that Taft player who best embodies the sportsmanship and will to win of George Gould. Our #1 player this year had an impressive 7-5 personal record for singles play in dual matches, beating opponents from Deerfield, Hotchkiss, Berkshire, Kent, Loomis, Westover, and Westminster. She also played #1 doubles with various partners and had big wins over Hotchkiss and Deerfield. She plays with a competitive but cool head, giving her opponents her best game for that day. As a co-captain, she's been a strong leader on the team, helping the ladies keep their focus during practice and providing loud support to her teammates during matches. It was great validation for her grace under pressure when the Kent coach named her the best sportswoman after their yearly tournament. If you've ever had the good fortune to see this young woman play, or better yet, to compete against her, you know that she's always all in for the competition, so bring your A game. The award goes to Eugenie Greff. Co-captains for next year are Eugenie Greff and Sydney Trevinan.
So again, congratulations to the entire school and all the teams at every level for, as I said, what may be a historic record. I'll do the research, but it's an amazing record. Congratulations to those individual accomplishments. Some of you, some of those are precedent-setting. And I'm also struck by hearing the coaches talk about the kind of senior leadership that was out there in all the teams. And I just, having watched all of you, I think that we're all going to miss those seniors who've performed so well with such incredible sportsmanship. So you've left a legacy we're not going to forget. My last counsel is you've done well to be in this hot room. Go outside, play some Frisbee, do something fun, okay? We're adjourned.